far. Ooh.
Didn't get enough show out today.
I guess not.
It was kind of a shorter show, I guess.
Not much.
I mean, it was 4 hours rather than 6 like you have.
It's like
done
4.5.
couple, yeah.
But yeah, I guess. It's been a motor mouth lately. You know me, I go through my phases.
I think the first is always hard to get big donos because everyone's got bills.
Yeah, I mean, we did fine.
Yeah.
We did just fine. Just fine. Man, I was so salty about that chili. So it was nice to get chili tonight.
Yeah.
I think that it might have been the next day.
You're like, oh.
I went, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna give me some chili. I went in there and I was like, oh. No chili. I was salty. Ooh.
That's why Downward didn't want to go out because people are firecrackering and shit.
Oh, you know, it is.
July 1st.
Yeah, it's July. We gotta have fireworks.
Even though they've been doing it the past 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they should, like, not even be allowed to open their fireworks stands until the day before?
No, because there would be a huge crush.
Yeah.
I just think that, like, especially in places where there's like a huge fire hazard, that like all of these giant mounds of cops and fire enforcement officials that we pay for, like they ought to be out all day on the streets and writing tickets. If they want to like de-incentivize people from using these, especially if there's illegal ones, you know what I mean? But for some reason, like, you only get the cops to show up in force if somebody's protesting. That's when the cops show up. Or if there's like a teenage hoodlum making noise inside of a Walmart, then you get like 16 cops. But for some reason, they're just like nowhere to be found on the 4th of July. It's odd. Going through a timestamp in the appearance now. Yeah. You should look up how to do it so that it makes the chapters. If you do it in a certain way and put it in the description, if you follow a certain format, it automatically cuts it up into those like clickable chapters. Or whatever the fuck it is. I haven't done it in a while, so I don't know. Maybe they changed how it's done now.
I mean, you can just find a video that has those chapters and look at their description and just copy it, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta, I think you're right, Phoebes. I think you got it. And then you have to name it, space that, name it, space that, name it, space that time format. Pretty sure that's how it works. You know, you'll figure it out. I just know that people kind of expect that from longer videos nowadays. Oh, yeah. Yeah, people will come back to that one over and over. Yeah, people love to relive those sorts of things. You know what I mean? And so if you make yours the most easily accessible, good and time stamped, go through and do a little SEO on it, then you'll ensure that it's the #1 place for people to go for that, you know? That's the idea. Cricket cat. Cricketty. Cricketty cat. He's so cute. He's so mean looking and so cute. At the same time, he's looking mean and angry and cute. This guy's flaming gay with that style. Yeah. You looking to suck a dick? Are you out trolling around? Because I'll take a little polish. Good.
Show. The rest of them are going to come to Cali too, because the big church over there, Church of Scientology.
Why though? Why? But it does look like Julia pretty much out of the show. I mean, they might bring her back at some point for a special episode here or there, but to me it looks like Julia's done. Will the next gauntlet be about? I don't know. We'll see.
You guys just had one. You got chill.
Yeah. We talked about one right after the show today. I don't know it's what we're going to do. We'll see. Anybody not brain dead? Anybody not brain dead? Anybody not brain dead? So far, everybody is brain dead. So far, everybody is brain dead. Brain dead. Brain dead. Brain dead redemption. Yeah. Brain dead. Brain dead. The whole chat is brain dead. No, don't worry about it, Nick. It's a tidal wave. Just the way this works. What's your favorite sandwich? All right, so there's a place in New Orleans called Radostas, and they have a roast beef po' boy there that I think is the finest sandwich on the planet. It's a very small place, old kind of neighborhoods grocery store called Radostas. Best sandwich ever. So go in there and get the roast beef po' boy or the shrimp po' boy. It's pretty good too, but I prefer the roast beef. Get the roast beef dressed. Let them put everything on it, and go grab you a soda or a beer or something. Sit down and you eat. How do you see the future for the next 100 years? Depends on where you are, honestly. Like, it depends on where you are on the planet. There's a different answer for that if you live in the equatorial belt versus north or south of it. There's a different answer for that if you live in the United States versus China, right? It's a very complex question disguised as an easy one. I think that people are going to have wildly different experiences on the planet in 100 years. And I think that certain areas are going to suffer, and I think that certain areas are going to prosper. or I guess prosper, maybe the wrong word, explode in popularity and density, etc. It's Radostas, Radostas, Radostas. You won't find it if you try searching that other thing. But yeah, it's in New Orleans. What was school like for me? I was a pretty smart kid. Like, well, I mean, smart in that I was book smart enough that I didn't really struggle in school until high school. When I got into like algebra, I'm not real great at math, but I did okay in school. I had a lot of friends in school because I had like a outgoing type personality, I guess. And I had a pretty good time in school, man. Like a lot of people that I talked to really didn't have a good high school experience, but I'd be lying if I said that mine sucked. I mean, there were sucky times, but like overall, it was a pretty cool time. I got my car, you know what I mean, when I turned 15, and then at 16, I was able to drive anywhere I wanted. And me and my friends loaded up and went to Magic Mountain quite a bit, went camping quite a bit, and it was a chill time to, chill time. What do you think about Iran? I think the reason that Iran is a sectarian religious hellscape is because the United States monkeyed with their government. We deposed their democratic elected leader in the 70s, Mohammad Mossadegh. Replaced him with the Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, and put him on what they called the peacock throne. And he was so brutal and such a wasteful spender that frittered away the national wealth of Iran and let his people go hungry and shoeless, caused a sectarian religious revolution headed by a guy named Ayatollah Khomeini. And the Grand Ayatollah Khomeini took over Iran, turned it into a Sharia law country, a religious dictatorship, and it has been a hotbed of intrigue ever since, and a really shitty place to be a woman, or to be gay, or to be anything other than a Muslim man. Sucks when all you can see on the screen is bands, I know, but it's so fucking necessary. Because there are just like, if you don't weed out the stupids, the whole screen would be unreadable bullshit. So I'd rather the stupids have to crash against the wave, crash against the shoreline a few times, realize that they're wasting their time and burning all their alts, go find somebody else, right? And in order to do that, my mods just have to pretty much ban every retard that comes in for a while. And then people get it. And then, because it's just a waste of my time to try and explain it, right? But yeah, like I said, that first 30 minutes, it's unfortunate, but I'd say maybe 1 out of every 10 comments remains up. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, Mossadegh, 1953, thanks. Hey, Paul, your hair's, I don't care. You're banned. I don't want to hear about my hair anymore, bro. It's hair. Let's be done with it. It's just going to be fucking nothing but permas for the next 15 minutes. It's unfortunate because, like, I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm in a pretty yacky mood, but you just can't deal with bot shit and fucking pick me, kind of notice me kind of shit. Ugh. Doesn't matter that you just got here. Pig. Pigs are a noble beast. People need to stop using pig as an insult. Pigs are a much far nobler beast than humans. You do me an honor. Plus, it fits because I pork your mother. You heard of Zoran Mamdani? Yes. Mayor of New York. Yep. Sweet. I know, dude. That Prophet Muhammad was off the charts, bro. It was so much better than mine, bro. He showed me up. Wow. It's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy in the chat tonight, dude. Jackson Mullins is going to give me a makeover. Okay, bud. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, bro. Oh my god, bro. It's so fucking... And like the disrespect. Like people are going to get me with a tree grow. My people invented that shit. You can't it's like walking up to a wizard and trying to hit him with like a level 1 spell. It's retarded, right? Walk up to a grand wizard and you try and hit him with a level 1 spell and it blows up in your face and people just line up to do it. You know, it's fucking stupid. Notepad. Oh, everything they can. Yeah, the establishment will do everything they can between now and November to character assassinate Mamdani, to cut his throat at the polls, to outspend him. They'll do everything they can. They're terrified of him, as they always are. Anytime a progressive accidentally happens in the Democratic Party, they all shit a brick. So, we'll see. He's cool. I don't care. Like, I don't care if he's cool. I don't. I care if he's got policies that he's willing to fucking burn to get passed. I care if he cares more about the people of New York than his own political rise. Poor Dinor is so scared by those noises, and there's nothing I can do to help him. He gets so startled. It makes him get up and run away every time. Such a sad boy. Such a sad boy. Oh my god, dude. Bots. Just bot shit. After bot shit, after bot shit, after bot shit. So it must be time for the bot invasion. I don't even know what these are for. I don't know why you would do them. Like the bots are really kind of an enigma for me. I'm not a bot, spoken like a bot, bro. If you're not a bot, it's actually sadder than if you are a bot, because it means there's an actual human being out there who is indistinguishable from a bot. Literally just sounds brain dead, scripted NPC. Like, so if you're not a bot, it's actually fucking worse, bro. That's the thing. But yeah, a lot of fucking bot behavior in the chat, bro. Just emoji spams and fucking, hi, I am from India. Where are you from? It's like, bro, I mean, tell me you're a bot without saying the word bot, bro. Hello from Bangladesh. Where are you from? And then if you answer, they never say another thing. It's like, what? Yeah. They'll outspend him. I think sometimes they just exist floating out there in the vast nether reaches of the live stream chats and neglected comment sections, you think? You think they're just out there, it's just like automated in some dead guy's basement and nobody's bothered to turn off the machine yet? I mean, that could be. You know, the dead internet really is fascinating when you start thinking about it. You know what I mean? The idea that there's far more bot engagement on the internet than real human engagement. And that is getting worse with time, not better, right? And then we are either at or quickly approaching a time where the internet is an unreliable place to actually interact with another human being. Well, I mean, we just usually just, you know, we keep Dynor chilled out. We keep him, you know, we keep him hanging out. As long as we're around, he's not too scared. Yeah. Poor little guy. Poor little Dusty D. I guess so sad. I guess so scared. He gets extra cuddles this week. Yeah, he gets to go on a trip. He loves to go on a trip. So he gets to go on a trip this week. He gets to go to a hotel for a couple days this week. He loves that. He gets to go see people he knows this week. He loves that. Etc., etc., etc. It's an Angie dog. My dog would go into my bed until it was over, but she was too fat to get out until I lifted the mattress. Aw. Poor baby. Party plans? Yeah. Barbecue. Going on a trip and gonna have a big barbecue with some family friends. So that'll be cool. Going up in the mountains a little bit. Doing a little rambling, a little traveling. River instead of the mountains, based. Sorry. Oh, God. I probably made like 10 people yawn just now. That's fucking... It's infectious, bro. I probably made like 10 of you out there watching me yawn hella right now. One's in the chat if I made you yawn. Just admit it. Just admit it. I spread the yawn all over this world, bro. Let's try. You're feeling the yawn coming on, though. They're so infectious. They're so infectious, man. Especially when one sounds real good. You're clenching a yawn. People yawned, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean to spread it, but look, isn't that funny? Dude yawns in the Pacific Northwest, and people all over the world are yawning because of it, man. That's the butterfly effect right there. The sociopathic if one does not yawn sympathetically? I don't know, bro. That's a good question. Had to give into it. Yeah, because you can feel it in there, and you're just like, well, I can, like, chew it back, but it's eventually coming out, so I may as well just let it out. Who's your favorite soccer player? I don't have a favorite soccer player. Just kidding. Ronaldo. Pinched your cheeks. Oh, is that's your anti-yawn maneuver? I just gotta let mine out. Bro, I have a memory about yawning. Should I share it with you guys? I guess I could. Long enough ago. So I was kind of dating this chick in high school, and my parents had grounded me for a whole summer because they caught me smoking weed. And one night I was on the phone with this chick, and she goes, I want you to come over here right now. And I was like, I can't, I'm fucking grounded. She's like, I want you to come over here right now. My parents aren't here. My brothers are out of town. Like, I'm all alone in the house. And I was like, oh, fuck. It's like, I wish I could. And she yawns, right? And she goes, I love yawning. And I was like, I don't. I hate yawning. She goes, no, I love it. She's like, it's like a tiny little orgasm. And she was like, I want you to come over and give me a big orgasm. And I was like, oh, shit. So I literally went to my mom, worked up some tears, made up a story, bro. I was like, her brother died or something. I can't remember what it was. Her grandma died, and I just want to go make sure she's okay. Bro, I tried everything in the box, bro. Everything in the box to get them out of the house. And my parents wouldn't let me, bro. That shit was wild, bro. I was like, oh my God, man. Why the fuck does God hate me so bad, bro? What did I ever do? Well, my parents were smart. So I had a car, right? But when I got grounded, they forced me to turn over the key to my car. And the chick didn't live within walking distance. It was just too much of a caper, bro. Too much of a caper. I don't think they would have cared. Listen, Mom, I might get to smash, okay? I really need you to give me a pass this one time. I'll never touch weed again, I swear to you. Yeah, the parental cock block is pretty bad. Can we see your refrigerator? No, absolutely not. I don't want you coming over here and stealing all my sweetness, all my sweet treats and sundry goods. There are many cheeses, ripe cheeses. You think I want to expose all of that to you? Absolutely not. Well, it wasn't my dad that denied me. I think my dad might have allowed it, but I was living with my mom at the time. My mom and stepdad were hard asses. They definitely weren't going to let it. You ain't doing any smashing, Peaches. I know. It was awful. I can't remember what story I made up, but I was like, please, please, mama, please. Didn't work though. I was trying to get some peach, but what are you supposed to do? Caught your son smoking weed at the age your parents caught you, what would you do about it? It's so hard for me to answer that question because, like, I'm of the age now where I'd probably have a teenager if I'd have had kids, or I'd have close to a teenager if I'd have had kids when I started trying to have kids. And I'd have no clue how I would be as a parent, man. I like to, like, theory craft about it, but I gotta be honest with you, I don't know. I think I'd be kind of a bit of a hard ass of a dad, but maybe not. I don't know. Oh, thanks. I don't know why your longtime regular account was banned, but cheers to that. Still kick your kid out at 18? If they were doing nothing else, probably, yeah. I mean, I think that was one of the greatest things my parents ever did for me. It didn't feel like it at the time, but you know what I mean? I got kicked out of the house at 18. Fucking needed to figure out how to go, get a job, get an apartment, and I never looked back, man. I never asked for help from anybody ever again. Supported myself ever since then, you know, and I think that it was a really good thing my parents did. So I'd probably do that, yeah. Like my deal with my parents was, you can stay here as long as you're going to school. If you're pursuing your education, you got a place to live, but you drop out of that, you're fucking out of here. And I dropped out of that, and I was fucking out of there. So that's the way it works. But then again, I don't know. Maybe I'd be a big old softy for a kid. Who knows? Maybe I'd be a horrible parent and just be like one of these permissive assholes where their kid can do no wrong, you know? I don't know. I can't really say. I don't know the saying, but it sounds right to me. What? Oh, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Big kitty.
You coming, D?
Come on, baby boy. Come on. D, come here. It's okay. Come on. Okay, you stay in there then.
Stay in there until it's dark.
He's just so nervy.
Yeah.
He's so scared. Too scared. I feel like I've been dehydrated the last couple of days.
Yeah.
I'm trying to guzzle some water.
It's been pretty toasty the past few days, and just probably didn't adjust to it.
Toasty by comparison, I guess, yeah. Feels super nice right now. Is that a little dog? Or is that a bird?
I don't know.
Kind of sounds like a little teacup chihuahua or something.
Oh, it is that birdie. You see that wiggling branch?
Oh, yeah. It kind of sounds like a chihuahua.
Maybe it's a little mockingbird. Can't really see.
Yeah, maybe.
He's kind of camouflaged in all the shadows.
Yeah. I need to learn some bird calls, man.
Maybe that is a mockingbird. I just really can't see very well.
He's up there barking like a dog.
He blends in with the shadows pretty well.
Could be.
A mockingbird just imitating a dog.
Probably answered this before, but how does D deal with fireworks during the 4th? He doesn't very well. Usually what we do is we turn on the TV, we find a movie that's loud. It's a big action
Like
movie
a
or
war
movie or something like that. We put it on, and it helps blend in so he doesn't get scared by every one of them, because he knows the difference between the fireworks and the TV. The TV doesn't scare him at all, but the fireworks get him because they're so loud that he can't tell what direction they're coming from. It makes him think like they're right close to him because he doesn't understand the idea of an explosion. I think that's why dogs are afraid of them. Those explosions create these big, powerful sound waves that travel really far and sound really close to you even when they're far away. And dogs, there's no way that they could possibly understand that mechanic. And so I'll watch Dynor. I mean, when one goes off, he jumps up and gets away from where he was, because in his little brain and by his little reaction, it happened right up next to him or something, you know? So it's pretty sad.
That's why we're going somewhere on the 4th where we're supposed to be a little more illegal.
Yeah, they're pretty illegal. I'm sure they have like a municipal fireworks display or something up there, but as far as like personal fireworks, you're not supposed to set them off, so that's good. And it's usually the shockwave will hit your windows, like it'll rattle your windows a little bit with the big ones. That scares him because he can't tell, you know, he thinks that the sound is at one of the windows, and it just gets him all out of sorts. Cricket doesn't give two shits or a fuck. He's just chilling right now. He's literally maxing right now. Like, he is like...
The place we're going only has them legal on New Year's Eve.
Oh, there you go. Cricket doesn't give two shits.
No. Well, because I lived in a place that had a big fireworks show that was like right across the street from my house.
That was his first home. Yeah, so he got to hear that for a few years.
And he could see it too, so I think he can put it together a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because he could see it.
Like, watch it.
Like, watch it go up and then boom.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why he's got a better grip on it.
Yeah. old Dusty D. He too stupid to know what's going on. Too stupid. Fireworks are totally banned here in Australia. People still get them, but because a few dummies blew their fingers off, the rest of us can't have them. Yeah, I mean, in the area I grew up in, it was just the wildfire risk from fireworks was just not worth it. Right?
I'm sure Australia has similar logic.
Well, yeah, considering that Australia basically burned down a couple of years ago. Like, yeah. Remember the satellite photos when that Australian brush fire was burning? It looked like half the continent was on fire.
Yeah.
It's crazy. My first dog was named Cricket. That old bastard took about 20 bites out of the entire family, 2 bites for myself. And a biting dog is a pretty dangerous thing to have. You must have loved him pretty well. Had a tough-ass family that didn't care about getting dog bit. But Cricket has taken a couple bites out of me, too. He's a cat, though. That's what cats do.
I mean, he hasn't bit you as hard as he's bit me, though.
No. He's given you a couple real good ones.
Not like deep, but I guess it's more scratches that I've gotten from him than real bites.
Yeah. Well, some good weed that will have laughing and happy and not sleepy. I don't know, bro. I'm not your weed doctor. I gotta be honest with you, weed affects everybody differently. Some people don't get giggly on sativa because it makes them too nervous. Some people get giggly on indica because it makes them feel dopey. Sometimes it's vice versa. Like, I'm not the weed guru, bro. I know how to get high myself. I know how I smoke. Hello, Cricket. Cricket's trying to get you attention.
Oh boy.
He's mewing at the door.
Okay.
Like I said, different strokes for different folks, my friend. Weed does weird things to me, too. It makes me feel like high. You know what I mean? Like, there's no other way to put it. Like, I'm high, you know? I'm like, whoa. How did this happen? It's the same questions all day, every day. Yeah. And it's kind of how it goes. That's why I don't like people like asking me, like, I don't mind talking about what I've done, but when people go like, hey, Paul, what X should I do? What drug should I do? How should I do this drug safely? It's like, bro, I'm not your drug coach. I know how to handle all that shit with me, but me is not you. So, yeah, there's a pretty stunning lack of creativity in the average people that kind of go. Like the drive-by people, every once in a while you'll catch a person that's got like half a brain in their head and they'll be chill as fuck. I don't remember what his name was, but the other night a dude rolled through here and he and I were fucking ping-ponging and having a good time. Total fucking rando, but it's like most of these people, bro, it's like they never had a friend growing up. It's actually kind of sad. It's like they're just so fucking so shock. You know what I mean? So shock that they can't even like make a fucking post in a chat on the internet without people just fucking wanting to get rid of them. It's a shame. Well, I knew that the hagweed would show up or would go away after I chopped my hair off. Now it's been replaced with its own group of fucking bullshit. Drive-by skibbity, yeah. No, I mean, it is. I mean, just so everybody knows, if you get banned out of this chat, there's only one reason you get banned. You got an IQ lower than Forrest Gump's in the movie. Forrest Gump's got a 74 IQ. You must have a 75 IQ to ride this ride. That's it. So all these bans that have been rolling by all night, every last one of them is for that reason. Somebody too stupid to chat. Like, that's it. Only thing that gets you banned is you're too stupid to participate in a normal adult human conversation. It's the only thing that gets you banned. There's no other way to get banned out of here. Pretty fucking sad. Yeah, sub Gump. Nope. Public schooling requires a minimum IQ of 75, Mrs. Gump. Your boy Forrest is right here. We're talking about 5 measly points here. Must be something can be done. Yeah. Mr. Gump, Ms. Gump. He's on vacation. The scene after, I know. Your mama sure does care about your schooling, son. Dabbing his forehead and shit. Shit is wild, bro. Shit is wild. Watched Pontypool and loved it up until the last 20 minutes. No, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I kind of feel the same way about it. I think especially the last 10 minutes of the movie are kind of like, ah. But the tension, man, is so fucking just worth the price of admission. The acting job. I think Stephen McHattie is fucking brilliant in that shit. So, yes. Yeah, the actor was as good as anyone could possibly be in a role. Yeah, no, I agree. Totally agree. It was a great movie. More people need to check it out. Pontypool. You feel about emo music? Screaming infidelities, is that emo? Your hair is everywhere. Screaming infidelities. Or like, love of mine, someday you will die. I'll be by your side. I'll follow you into the dark. Is that emo? Emo's coming back, is it? I guess that's okay. You ain't gotta apologize to me for lurking, huge ass. That's most people. I love lurkers, man. Lurkers are the best, bro. Shout outs to them lurkers, bro. Any lurkers want to throw up a quick fucking thumbs up or something in the chat so I can give you some props? Because I love me some lurkers, bro. My favorites. I love me some lurkers. Lurkers are the best. %, lurker. See? If I'm here, I'm usually lurking. I prefer to listen, not speak. See? I knew they were out there. They're always out there, lurking. But one of these days, I'm gonna find you, you little piggies. That's right. I've got a nice frosty popsicle down in my basement. But that old freeze is so deep, I can't reach off into it. %, lurker. Oh. Hope that muscly arm paper boy's coming around to give me some good news. You listening here? Yeah. I talk to my chat, but I make my chat like meet a minimum standard. Like I'll never read something if it sounds like it was written by a retarded guy. But if you're just like chill and you got half a brain in your head, bro, this is your spot, man, because I like talking to people. Get your fat ass back here, you little piglet. Muscly armed paper boy, bring me some good news. What do you see the country in 10 years where you're gonna inevitably default? Nah, they'll just keep deepening the pool of like unimaginable debt. Like in 10 years, they'll be talking about what's that? What comes after a trillion? Do we even know the word? Is it quadrillion? They'll be talking about a quadrillion in 10 years. That's the only difference. Muscly armed paper boy. Need to bring me some good news. Septicentillion? No, they'll be talking about quadrillions in 10 years. That'll be the only big deal. They'll be like, the United States is racing towards a new horrible milestone. $1 quadrillion in debt. The number boggles the mind. Dude says he will read comments on intelligent folk, but talks like Quagmire. That's not Quagmire. That's Herbert the pervert. But it's hey, dude, no, it's all good. Yeah, I don't do a very good Quagmire. Giggity. Yeah, see? I don't do a very good Peter Griffin. My name's Peter Griffin. Why do women have boobs? So you got something to look at when you're talking to them. Voice is a hobby for you? Well, yeah. Well, I'm a podcaster, so, I get to do voices on my podcast, but yeah, it's not the main part of what I do. Just kind of a hobby. Guy says he wants to hear from intelligent people, but talks like a character he's not even talking like. Whatever, bro. How does it feel to be at the level of YouTube fame where you have whole channels dedicated to documenting your on-site drama? I'm kind of used to it. I'm not trying to flex or anything, but it's been a long time since that wasn't true in my life. It's nothing new to me. You voice actors you admire? Billy West. Billy West did pretty much every voice he did Ren and Stimpy. He did every one of the fucking Animaniacs, and like Billy West is probably the greatest voice actor of all time. No, dude, I'm not that big. I'm not some big, like, super famous podcaster, but I just make my living, or I make my living doing that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not, like, super duper famous or nothing, but I make a pretty good living, and that's all I do, so pretty cool. Was the last time you had a fan interaction IRL? I imagine most aren't pleasant. No, they're actually, they've always been chill. I would say 99% of the fan interactions that I've had have been super chill. Like, we're doing another meetup towards the end of this year. We try and do one once a year, but we don't always make it. But yeah, this year, Clifton, New Jersey at Dingbats on November 1st. We're doing a meetup. Usually around 150, 200 people show, and they're pretty fucking awesome. Yeah. His modesty betrays him. He has 2 degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. I don't think that's true. Is that true? If that is true, I am going to get a big ego. TJ to Joe Rogan, Rogan to Bacon. Oh. I forgot about TJ to Rogan. That's a connection that opens a lot, because I'm 2 degrees of separation from Donald Trump. Like, TJ being on Joe Rogan puts me 2 degrees of separation from every guest that Joe Rogan has ever had. That's kind of crazy. It's pretty crazy how much Rogan's grifted over the years, ain't it, though? It's insane that TJ went on Rogan twice. I know. Seems a bit tenuous because they sort of denounced Joe. I mean, denounced or not, TJ was on his show twice. Like, denounced doesn't come into it. It's like the game is played like connections. So usually it's people that have been in movies, right? But in this case, yeah, that is wild. I mean, we're all apes, Jocelyn. I usually play with just any media but podcast count. Yeah? Mm-mm. Were those TJ episodes with Joe deleted or taken down on most platforms? I think so, yeah. They didn't make the cut when Joe sold his shit to Spotify or whatever. TJ's too volatile a personality, I think. What's that wailing noise? People have kids. Summer. Some kid running around. Crickets knocking things off of the table. I see. Ah, children. I'm a pretty dyed-in-the-wool knuckle cracker, man. I'm a knuckle cracking fool. Dude, if you catch me, you probably catch me knuckle cracking. Because I do it. It's like self-soothing behavior. Like, I gotta get every knuckle. Every one of them. All of them have to be cracked. I have to crack my knuckle. Dude, I have this thing I can do with my wrist. I don't think it's a good sign, bro. I don't think, like, if I went to like an osteo bone person, probably tell me to stop doing it, but I can do it if you want. It's kind of cool. Look at this. Listen to this. Ready? You guys can hear that, right? I can do that over and over forever. Please stop. Yeah, isn't that fucked? I've been able to do that since I was like, I think I discovered it when I was like 8. And I've been able to do it ever since. It's only that one hand, though. I can't do it over here. Can't get the same effect. It doesn't hurt at all. They'd probably tell you to stop. I don't do it much. But it is one of those things that I can do. I don't know why it makes me cringe. Because it's like bone on bone, I think. Or close to it. There's something fucky going on in there. I don't know what it is. Oh, I crack my neck all the time too. Yeah, I crack my neck and my back as much as I possibly can, stretching constantly. I do it. I could probably get a good one out right now. Watch. Let's see. Oh, nothing loud, but like a ton of movement in there, bro. Just like, yeah, my neck, my back. Yeah, it depends. I have different like methods. Like I can bend over at the waist and then like kind of push or pull myself deeper into that stretch, and that'll crack my back. Like a lot of decompression in the lower back and middle back, and then this thing I do on the stairs that's wild. I like bend down and grab the stair I'm standing on, and then lean forward with all my weight. And it keeps your shoulders in place while putting like your weight forcing forward, so it like elongates your spine. Oh, dude, no, the kids, and it's cool, like, because they remind me of me and my sisters when I was growing up. But the kids that live right near us, they're outside a lot. They play outside. They sing and pretend things, and I'm just like, maybe we'll be okay. You know what I mean? There are still kids that aren't fucking on, because like those kids, when they're not in school, they're out, right? They're playing. They're fucking hooting and hollering and having a good time, riding their bikes.
Cricket or Dino barking at them
every
5 minutes.
Yeah, every 5 minutes, Dino got to let us know that there's a kid out in the neighborhood. No, but I mean, it's good. Like, it's real, like, kudos to their parents or whatever, because it's rare as hen's teeth now to see. And I think there's several families in our little neighborhood whose kids kind of run around together. And it's good to see that that's still happening.
As much as Dynor hates it.
Yeah, well, Dynor can get mad in the same pants he got glad in.
He's just a grumpy old man.
He is. He is. He's a grouchy old man. I think it's mostly the rich yuppies raising iPad kid monster things. I work at a Whole Foods and I see that shit all the time.
I don't know. Whole Foods isn't the rich yuppie. It's kind of become more mainstream.
Has it?
Whole Foods, I think.
It's fallen out of grace and it's not rich yuppies anymore going to Whole Foods. I don't know though. I think it's everybody, bro. Because I think it just depends on how much of a general draw is the area you're going to be walking around or spending time in, right? Because like around here, I live in a place where like the people that live out here because they don't want to be in a city. And so that type of person, I think, might be a type of person that's less likely to let their kids sit inside all day and rot, right?
Yeah, they are getting a house that has a little yard where they can put little things.
Beautiful house, beautiful, safe, walkable neighborhood that they can ride their bikes and they can do this, they can do that, right? So that's why the people that have families are out here, because they want their peace and they want their quiet and they want their kids to have a cool place to grow up in that's safe. And that's why I think you see so many kids riding their bikes, playing around here. I mean, right around the corner from us, there's a little park that has a borrow and lend library where you can take a book and leave a book. So it's like very kid friendly around here. And I think a lot of the people move here and probably commute into bigger cities, a lot of them, because they want their kids to have a safe, quiet, cool place to grow up. I think that when you go into the cities and you go into the places where people are more conglomerated. You see a lot more people who probably don't have that priority, and I think by proxy probably don't have a lot of priorities that involve their kids.
Well, I think that the benefit too is this doesn't have an HOA, this neighborhood.
Well, somebody asked me that earlier, and I was like, I don't know. I know I don't bear the burden.
We would
of
have gotten something when we signed the lease
Right.
if it was part of an HOA, and we didn't.
Well,
so.
that's good.
Because HOAs, like, sometimes they can be less kid-friendly because they want rules, like, don't have your bike in the street.
It's so fucking lame.
Don't run on the grass. And...
I love this. Oh, yeah, the kids drawing with the chalk that they like. That'd probably be against HOA. Yeah. So fucking lame. Yeah, no, the kids are having a great time here. And it actually makes me feel good that that's happening because it reminds me of my childhood. Like, when I think of my childhood, do I remember playing video games? Yeah. But is that the balance of my memories? No. Like, on an average day in the summer during my childhood, when I was the same age as these little skibbities running around here, I would have been riding my bike, coming home with a skinned knee to have my mom put Bactine on it and tell me to be careful and go right back out, grab my skateboard. I'd be all over the neighborhood, you know, jump in the pond in my best friend's backyard and cool off in the summer and then run around and dry off. Fucking, you know, playing with action figures and building dirt fortresses and just every little thing that you could possibly know. I was never bored as a kid. I don't ever remember boredom being part of my life.
Except maybe like when you were grounded or something.
Grounded or like at a school assembly.
Yeah.
You know, like as a kid, boredom was not a part of my day-to-day. It's like, especially during the summer. Out of school, parents are kind of just letting you do whatever the fuck you want to a certain extent for most of the summer. And when it's not that way, it's because you're going on a family vacation or you're doing something cool. So yeah, I'm a dude. Like, I remember some bad stuff in my childhood. It wasn't always idyllic, but boredom was really not one of those things that came into my life until I was older. You know what I mean? Like in terms of like a teenager, probably. Started getting depressed, started becoming a little more reclusive and a less active outside and a little more prone to want to sit indoors and, you know, that sort of thing. The place had the best burgers in town when you were a kid. Well, I lived in a tiny little town, so it was a tiny little locally owned business called Snow White. Snow White was mostly known for their soft serve vanilla, mixed vanilla and chocolate swirl, and the dipped vanilla cone with the chocolate shell on the outside. It's gone now. It was torn down, or maybe it isn't even torn down yet, but it doesn't operate anymore. But it was SNO-White, Snow White, and it was a local diner thing. And it was Greasy Spoon in there. Like, you get a burger, you get a hot dog. There was one more. I'm trying my fucking best. There was one more little shack. Man, it was like a shack, bro. And it was like a convenience store that had a grill in it. And it was way out in the country. Oh, I'm trying to remember the name of that place. It's gone now, too. But you get a good smash burger there back in the day, and the thing I remember about that place most is that they had cheap Garbage Pail Kids cards. And so my mom would go there to get a 6-pack of beer or something on the way home, and she'd always give me a couple packs of those Garbage Pail Kids. But yeah, I think both of those places are closed now, and the answer to that question is you don't really get a great burger in that town anymore. But you counterbalance that with it's got one of the best Mexican restaurants in California in it. Sal's Mexican restaurant there in the Valley. It's a chain, but it's a locally owned family chain that's only in certain places around the Valley. And it's just like the best Jalisco Mexican food that you can get, and that's my favorite type of Mexican food. So the Wendy's I worked at as a teenager is now like a law office. Yeah, it was torn down a long time ago. I think 10 or 15, maybe even 20 years ago. And it's now like a dentist's office and like a law office, I think. It's like one of those like multi-office buildings, right? That's got like a doctor and an optometrist and a lawyer and a CPA in it or some shit. It's somewhat ironic, yeah. Was it kind of Wendy's that had the sunroom? No, it was a drive-through Wendy's, but it was kind of old. It was old enough that they could have built it with the sunroom. It did have a salad bar, so that should let you know the age. Had a salad bar and the condiment bar with the pumps. You don't get that shit at no Wendy's no mo. So it was an old ass Wendy's. It was there when I was a kid, you know, like little kid, and I started working at it when I was 16. It was my first like not under the table job. I worked a couple places. My dad was able to get me jobs that were under the table before I was old enough to work, and so I did that for a couple of summers. But my first like legal of age permit job was at a Wendy's. How long did you work there before you knew something was up? Well, I told the story before because I was like, bro, I didn't know anything about meth or nothing, right? I'll tell you guys the story. I'm 16 years old. I'm working at the Wendy's, and I immediately gravitate towards the grill because I already knew kind of like how to grill meat. I grew up. My mom's an amazing cook, and you know, I used to help with the barbecue stuff, so I was really good on the grill, and so that's where I ended up landing as an employee. I was the dude that did all the meat and stuff, dropped the fries, all that shit, right? And so the first night after I was trained, the first night I was there, I had the dude that was working the drive-thru told me, he was like, hey, bro, he's like, every once in a while a weird order is going to come through. I'm going to tap you and just let you know, like, don't make it and don't worry about it. And dude, I was brand new and I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was like some sort of audit or some sort of test. I wasn't even thinking, right? And so every once in a while I'd be fucking flying through. Somebody would order some shit. I'd go to start making it and dude would tap me and he'd go, that last one, don't worry about it. I was like, oh, okay. I'd skip and I'd go, right? So one night I had to work and I was sick. Like I had a cold or some shit and I was just feeling run down, right? And so I got into work and my boss, my manager, right? So the manager of that Wendy's, her name was Winnie. She was this Mexican chick, like Hispanic, and I would describe her as kind of like chola, if you know what that means. She had like the real thick eye makeup and the black outline around the lips and the beauty mark. Kept her hair like slicked back and in a ponytail, so she had kind of like a chola look. And so I went into the bathroom. I was just not feeling good. I went in the bathroom and I'm just kind of like splashing water in my face and stuff. And Winnie comes right in behind me in the bathroom, right? And she goes, hey, Paul. And I'm like, yeah. And she goes, you look like you're feeling like down today. You okay? And I was like, yeah, I'll be all right. I only got a couple more hours or whatever and I'll be okay. And she was like, well, here, you know, why don't you take a little toot? And she just whips out like a glass pipe. It's like, she's like, here. And I was like, no, it's cool. I appreciate it. I'll be. She's like, seriously though, it'll make you work better, help you with your energy. And I was like, no thanks. Well, so that was weird, right? But I still didn't put two and two together, right? So one day I was working a closing shift. So I had to get there at like, I think it was like 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and I was supposed to work until they closed at 11 and then blah, 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 whatever it was. Right? So I show up and I see that the lights are out in the place, right? And it's me and one other person that works there pulled up and he was like, oh, Paul. And I was like, what's going on, man? What happened? He's like, dude, Winnie got busted. And I was like, what? Busted for what? He goes, dude, he was like, so-and-so, another person just left. And they put me up on game because they called the assistant manager and they told her, like, Winnie got busted dealing meth out of the drive-through window, and it just clicked, bro. It clicked with me. I was like, the weird order. So she had a system set up where she would tell people every week some weird order, and then she was either running the window herself, right? Or she had one of the people that was helping her deal run the window. People would know that between these hours, if they wanted some fucking meth, they would come through and order like, you know, three happy nugget meals with the no sauce with extra sauce or some shit that didn't make sense, right? I don't know. Like, I don't remember because it was every time it was almost different. Dude would tap the meat person, tell him like, ignore that last order. That's just, don't even worry about it. Okay. And you're so busy, you just like, whatever. So she had somebody coming through, right? Order something that was a code. They'd come to the window. They would put the meth in the bag, roll it up, and take the money. Thank you very much. Next one out would be a burger. You think about that shit. So that Wendy's closed down, opened up again for a while, but it never bounced back from that. And it wasn't long. It was probably a couple years after that incident that it just got demolished. And it's been, for a while, it was just empty lot there. And then I moved away. And when I came back to live there, it was not big, but like, you know, one of those little professional complexes or whatever. I think that's based as fuck. I mean, it was smart, but it's a little high profile. Nope, police never contacted anybody about it. I assume the people that were, like, what I imagine is that police probably did a sting, right? And probably were watching that place for a while, doing buys, you know what I mean? Looking into everybody. They probably knew fucking little 16-year-old probably wasn't doing it. You know, but yeah, no, never talked to the cops about it or nothing. Just found out that, like, I didn't have a job because Wendy's was gone, you know? Yeah, I was a minor at the time. I was 16 years old when this happened. Extra large Crystal Pepsi. Yeah. But yeah, dude, it was weird. I worked there for like 5 months or so, maybe 4 months before all this happened. Never once did I ever work the register. I was meat guy, dude. And I was good too, man. I was a good hamburger flipper, man. They loved putting me on the meat. Was meth really big in that area? Bro, when I moved away from Madera, California, the first place I moved to was Phoenix, Arizona, right? And I got a job eventually there with Starbucks, as a lot of people know. And I used to read the New York Times every day, and then the Phoenix Sun-Times. So I grabbed the New York Times, and on the front page, largest meth lab ever discovered, found in Madera County, California. And there was an orchard. I used to drive by the orchard every day that had a secret cave system hollowed out underneath it with pipes that would steam out on the tops of the trees. And they were cooking oceans and oceans of meth down there, bro. So, yes. Yeah, meth was 100% the most crazy drug in our area. Oh, childhood innocence. Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty wild. But yeah, my girlfriend in high school did meth. Not like the whole time, but she got on meth because, dude, she was a chick that, like, I'll be honest with you, this is the sad truth of the 90s. And when it comes, I think, to being a girl in the 90s, right, is the girls, like, you know how, like, thick is in right now? Where a girl's, or like slim thick, right, even? So, or like a girl's not like fat, but she's not like, she's got some meat on the bones. She got a little bit of junk, right? that is like worshipped right now. That slim, thick build, and the girls that had that back in the 90s all thought they were fat because guys wanted these like Kate Moss, what's her name, Fiona Apple, kind of like waif type chicks. That was the hot thing, right? And so if a chick had any meat, any potatoes, you know what I'm talking about, they would get fucking this complex because all the chicks in the magazine look like they never ate nothing. They look like skeletons with these fucking, you know. And so a lot of chicks in my school started doing meth just for the crazy weight loss that it gave them, right? And the girl that I was dating got into that shit. And I found out about it, and she kept doing it after I broke up with her over it. I just told her, like, I don't want to have anything to do with you if you're going to fucking ruin yourself on that. I'm like, you're fucking beautiful. I don't understand why you feel like you need to do that. Ooh, she didn't have any good excuses, and she didn't stop until she decided to stop. So it's like one of them things, man. Well, it wasn't just the celebrity culture. It was just fashion culture and just culture in general. Like super skinny, waifish, mysterious, big eyes, pixie haircut. That was what every chick was supposed to look like back in the 90s. If you had any big butt, any triple thick thighs, any tits, you were fat. And a lot of those girls that had that were ashamed. And the girl that I dated in high school, she was stacked, bro. She was slim thick. But she wanted to be a waif because that's what all the chicks wanted to be back then. So, like I said, it was a big problem. And then like it wasn't just women doing it. You know, men. It was a drug that was just out of control in the 90s and early 2000s in that area, and still is to this day, to be honest with you. Oh, dude, it's awful. Dude, there was a girl I knew. She was beautiful, right? I never dated her or anything. I was just friends with her, and she was beautiful. And then one year, I went off to, you know, summer, came back from summer break, and she walked up to me and said, "Hey, Paul, what's up?" And I didn't even recognize her. I was like, and she said her name, and I was like, "Oh, hey." The reason I didn't recognize her is because it looked like she'd lost about 30 pounds, and she had like sores and big dark circles. Her hair was all string out, you know what I mean? And she was so beautiful, just like the last time I'd seen her. I was like, whoa. Fucking come to find out, she's all methed out. Just wild, dude. Thin, yeah, Twiggy, which was I was like before my time, right? Like Twiggy was like my mom's time. But yeah, I mean, by the time the 90s came around, Thin was it, dude. Every chick wanted to be teeny tiny, bony. See your collarbones and shit was a big deal. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Why the fuck not? Nothing wrong with the meaty goodness. That's why I'm glad that at least for now, like, the media environment seems to be like a little more healthy for girls, because it seems like a lot of different body types and stuff are more acceptable and stuff now. So that's always, I guess, a good thing, probably. The valedictorian of my high school class was in jail with me on suicide watch, eating his own poop and styrofoam because he crashed out on bath salts and lost his mind. Dude, that's a dope-ass valedictorian, bro. Usually they're fucking lame, boring-ass Asian kids that did hella good and nobody knew anything. Nobody hung out with them because they just didn't have time to hang out, you know? Like, I think no, that's not true. My valedictorian, I knew my valedictorian. She was chill. She was like a little girlfriend of mine back in grade school. That might have been be the first time that sort of sentence has ever been typed. Maybe. Nah, but interesting stuff, though. How was the economy in the 90s in your experience? Dog shit. It was dog. I mean, like, whatever. Like, probably not dog shit in comparison to today, but I remember my parents whining about how expensive everything was getting and how this was more expensive and that, right? So it was pretty much the same in spirit, if not in actual numbers. But looking back on it, honestly, like I have some wild stats, right? I bought my first home, so not like rented, bought my first home at 21 years old. Was 21. I bought a shitty little condo in a 4 condo building. I own 1 condo. But I owned it. I didn't pay rent. My mortgage was fucking so small that the payment was so low that like it just let me kind of live way better, right? And that is just a dream now. Like that's a complete and utter fantasy situation, right? I've got a sweet face. I think I'm a nice guy with spikes. That's how I think of myself, and I think that's pretty close to it. Like I'm a nice guy, but I'm prone to I'm prone to emotion and passion, right? And so that's kind of how I picture myself. I'm a nice guy that is mean sometimes when provoked. Well, there's a lot of pressure on that valedictorian, man. You know what I mean? There's a lot of extra pressure in a time that's already like filled with pressure. You graduate in high school and shit, bro, it's pressure city for a lot of kids. At least it was my generation. I don't know, maybe it isn't now. Because all of us knew that our days of living at home were limited. We're going to have to work a job and, you know, one of those things, man. I don't know. It's a big jumbo jet. Man. I wonder if they'll ever be able to simulate something like this so you can set it to your parameters. Like a holodeck or something that is so functionally real to your brain that it feels like this, you know what I mean? Where it's like you can have this, but to your specifications. I want no flying insects. I want this temperature. I want a light breeze with the smell of the ocean. I want no planes or any kind of human noise or light intrusion. I want complete silence other than the wildlife. I want typical indigenous wildlife. I want the sound of the breeze in the trees. You know, customize it and then just like sit, right? I wonder if that'll, I mean, it'll almost certainly be possible at some point. I wonder if it'll be possible in my lifetime. I think you're probably right. I wonder what the feasibility of something like that, like a holodeck, would be. Oh yeah, man. Well, out here at like 3 a.m. There's There's nobody on the nearby roads. There's no helicopter missions. No neighbors. Everybody's quiet. You just come out here and listen to the breeze and the trees and the animals moving through the brushes. And it's pretty awesome. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see you guys some other time.